Dev, I'm so happy you are here. Welcome once again to Biz Dev Live. I hope that you're seeing this clearly. I am coming to you from Restream instead of StreamYard, switching over platforms to try some things out, both for Biz Dev Live and for the Master Connector show that'll be back in March with me and Steve Spiro. So let me know how this is coming to you in the stream on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on YouTube. Let me know how it's looking, how it's sounding. Get into the comment section. Let me know where you're viewing from. Today I'm talking about show them you care. And what I mean by that, and what the intention behind today's show is that hopefully for folks that are coming back to the channel and are coming back to these shows, you're following me on LinkedIn, you're following me on these other platforms, and you're seeing the show, you know why I do this. You know, my passion, my mission is providing opportunity and education. I was talking about this morning, the opportunity when I have guests on, you have the ability to network through the show. So you can go into the description, find the profile for the person on LinkedIn, expand your network. Hey, I saw you on the Biz Dev Live show, and that's going to be somebody that you can add in. And hopefully you've gotten some insight into that person and you'll be able to connect better. And then opportunities for education, getting and learning from my experience. I really care about this. I'm deeply and passionate by this because I feel like I didn't have that sort of help going into it. And I just want to, shout out Denise for checking in. Appreciate Denise checking in from Houston. And so there are some different ways to show that you care. One is shouting people out. So thank you, Denise. You're showing you care by getting into the comments, and hopefully I'm showing that I care by shouting you out and giving you some play on the show, right? And that's something that is a big part of this puzzle piece with showing that you care. But people really don't care what you know if it's not coming from a place of, right, this person is going through some of the same struggles that I'm going through. What gives people the idea that you actually care about them? And that's what today's show is about. So stay with me. I'll be right back right after the Biz Dev Live theme.
Biz Dev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time, live. Biz Dev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Leadership and motivation, empathy and inspiration. Biz Dev Live, business development, not even selling it. Biz D with C, brought to you by Cameron T. Biz D with C, brought to you by Cameron T. This is business development, not even selling it. This is business development, not even selling it. Biz Dev Live, Biz Dev Live. This is business development, not even selling it.
So I'm extremely passionate in my belief that you should be showing up on different platforms. Definitely pick a platform and make sure that place in particular, because of who you want your clients to be and what you're trying to do in the world, make sure you're showing up there. But I think you should show up on a lot of different platforms if possible and repurpose that content. But how do you actually make that content hit and have a viral nature to it? I had Joaquin and Stacy Loper on the show Wednesday this week. They have 4.2 million people following them on TikTok, at that Loper lady on TikTok. And they've been able to, and they started out on YouTube and Facebook and found TikTok as a platform, and they have humor and they have a great laugh. They found something that really works for them. And that's really, I think, the trick. Because in finding what was natural and what worked for them, people identified with it. They found something that was impactful to their experience, and they were consistent. And so I think that care piece, when you talk about showing up on these different platforms and doing a good job with it, it's this idea of being consistent because you care, being there for the people that are actually showing up for you, right? Like Susan Castelli, who's checking in here, and I know she's checking in from Ontario, Canada. And so hopefully, if you're coming to me on the LinkedIn platform, hopefully, Susan, you're networking with Denise, right? And forgive me, I'm pressing these buttons, and it's a little bit different in Restream. I actually have this ability to show the chat over here, I think, and I can actually, let's see. So I think the chats, the comments will come in. New comments will show up on the side over here as I'm going through. But I'm trying out this new platform, Restream. I usually use StreamYard.com, and now I'm trying Restream.io, and there's some other bells and whistles here for doing this live show. So getting back to the topic of the day, what are some things that you can do to show people you care, interact, answer questions, make sure that you're reaching out to people, that you're responding to people on your social media channels when you are in the mode of posting? Are you appreciative? And I've recently even gotten more appreciative of people that just like and engage with the content. I'm saying thank you. And I'm sometimes I'm worried, like, well, is it creepy that I'm just paying attention to whoever likes the content and shouting them out? And typically, that's a conversation starter. I'm like, hey, thanks for engaging with the content. And then typically that leads to somebody putting a comment down on the post. So I think that's a really great engagement strategy. But it also, while it does take time, it makes me feel like I have more of a connection with the people that I'm interacting with on LinkedIn. And I know in the past, when people were telling me, and this is going back, years now, but people were telling me, well, you need to, expand your network, or somebody would be, got your numbers up and everything. I'm like, well, I'm connecting with people, and I'm barely getting in touch with all the people that I'm already connected to. Why am I trying to connect to more people? And, I think for anybody that's trying to do the social media thing, and, to a certain extent, the power of, if you're able to gather a large following, that leads to a lot of different awesome opportunities for you. Visibility, I think, is such a big deal. For Toth Event Staffing, my hospitality company in Westchester, I always thought about social media, not necessarily as a place where I'm getting new customers, but a place where I'm staying in front of and in touch with older clients, people that I know, people that are in my network. And even this morning, as I was putting some content out onto Instagram, an event planner that's of that generation, shout out to Marissa Swartz, I know that I saw her name, and then suddenly I saw an email, and, maybe she was thinking of me already. I don't know, but I think that spurned or that created a thought in her brain. And I wasn't even talking about Toth Event Staffing, but that's how she knows me. And so I'm showing up on the platform. And so you're staying in front of people, and that creates a way for people to remember who you are and what you do and what you provide. And if you're providing helpful information, people want to help you. I was on a phone call yesterday with a client of mine, and she called me about something that was not Toth Event Staffing related. And I feel like I'm giving the impression that I do a whole bunch of stuff that just doesn't lead to business, but this kind of thing does, right? So I'm on the phone with this client. She's telling me about her son, who is going through some stuff and needs to get a little further on in his career. I say, I'm super passionate about this. I don't charge for this. Just have them call me. I'm happy to help them. I've gone through some stuff in my life where I felt like I needed to connect right now to 20 years from now. I'm happy to help them. And so that kind of thing led to a conversation around me helping her son, but also about how she was so grateful that, you know, she has food service contacts and she would like to connect me with people. And I don't have any expectations on this, right? I don't know that any business is going to come from this or not, but I know that relationships are the key to all. You're probably on this. You probably know that as well. Relationships and building those relationships at scale is what social media allows you to do. So getting in there, getting involved, listening to people, showing them that you care, engaging with people, that is going to be something really key. Now you can get to a level if you're like a band, you know, if you got that, you know, thousands of people following, you can do a lot of other things like give away your time to show that, you know, fans or people that are following you are really important, so that, you know, they understand that you're willing to spend time with them and that sort of thing. You can do lots of different things like that, but especially in the early days, you're trying to build a following. One of the things that you can do really easily, just to show the people that are following you, people are engaging with your content, that you care, is just to respond. I mean, I think so often, even going back to our email inbox, sometimes there's an email and we're like, we want to answer it perfectly rather than just respond. And that's something that you can do on the very localized scale: phone call, text, email. Even if you're not ready to respond right away, hey, I got your email. I'm going to get back to you by XYZ date. Thank you so much for the email, or, you know, appreciate you, something along those lines. It's going to show people that you care about them, and they're going to care so much more about what you know, what you provide, the other things that you're doing, because you're showing up and caring about them. I hope this was helpful. I really appreciate Susan and Denise, you guys showing up for me today. If you're watching this, get into those comments. Love to know who is watching the show, how I can help you. I had Joaquin and Stacy on Wednesday. I had Ryan Sullivan on yesterday. Next week, we have a great lineup. I'm going to be talking about some fun stuff on Mondays and Fridays. Usually it's just going to be me. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I usually have some guests. Olivia Nunn, really talking about believing in yourself on Tuesday is going to be really exciting. And we have Glenn Lundy, who, if you have not been tuning in to him on LinkedIn, Facebook, there's a morning show, Rise and Grind. He'll be with us on Thursday. Really excited about that. He collaborates with my guy, Ramon Ray, who's amazing. These are all amazing folks that you should be connecting with and getting in touch with. And so if you're watching the show, if you're watching some of the interviews, get into those comment sections, those description sections, find the LinkedIn profiles of these guests, and make sure that you are connecting with them and expanding your network. Don't forget to show up. Don't forget to care and show people that you're excited about their engagement. I guarantee you, if you show up consistently and you show that care, and you can do it in a structured way, take one day a week if that's the way it works for you, or 15 minutes a day if that's the way it works for you, but show that you care, respond, engage, have fun with it. Don't do stuff that's completely outside your comfort zone. If it's completely outside of your comfort zone to do social media, that's okay. Try, but don't go crazy. Do something that's natural, that feels good for you, that you can do, showing up consistently so that you can show up, because consistency, I got to say, is probably the number one way that you show you care about your audience. And I guarantee you, if you show up consistently, your audience will show their care for you. They'll show up, they'll worry about you. They may not say it in the beginning, but they will show up and they will respond to you. And Denise says, I'm struggling to manage it all between my full-time real job and LinkedIn, yet also including the other platforms. Denise, we should talk. We should set up a one-to-one, because I think this is something that, you know, I struggle with, everyone struggles with, but it's about setting up that structure, right? And setting up easy ways to manage it so you can get your head around it. And for anybody that's watching this show, right, social media, it's so important. I'm kicking myself for not showing up consistently 10, 12 years ago and creating content for the nonprofit that I work with, for my own business endeavors, because it's so powerful to have that content out there. If you go on to Google right now, I'm a guy in Westchester, New York. I'm going to tell you, there's people that have more credentials and more money and more this, that, and the other. But if you go to Google and you search up BizDev Live or Cameron Toth, I come up first in the results, and that's what matters, right? For me personally. And so this is what is going to matter for you personally is, do you show up in your space? When people are searching that term around your name, are you showing up? And it really doesn't take that much other than just a consistent effort. How am I going to show up? How am I going to do that daily or weekly? And let me plan on it and do it. I can spend time and plan it out in advance. It does take the hard work of getting your head around it and spending some time on it, but you can do it. I'm no genius. If I can do it, you can do it. So it's just about really structuring your time. And then the whole thing, engaging on LinkedIn is, if you're getting lots of notifications from lots of things, shut them off. And then have a reminder on your calendar, a block time that you go in and you work on LinkedIn specifically, and you go and you hit it. And it's easy whenever you jump into Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube to get sucked down the content hole and you're watching other stuff. So, one secret is, if you're going to the front page of YouTube because you're posting YouTube content, don't have that as the place that you have favorited on your browser. Go to your profile or your message window, so you're not even seeing other people's content, so you can focus on your own content. I guarantee you there'll be plenty of time to see other people's content. It's really important to be selfish, because the only way that you show that you care about other people is by showing up and doing great things that yourself. And in that way, you can help people. Because remember, if you are not promoting yourself, your services, the way that you help people, you're being selfish, because you're denying that information to people that need to know what you do so that you can help them. People can have issue with that statement, but it's truth. No matter how you set it up, there's somebody that needs your knowledge, that needs your experience, that needs to connect with you. And by you not putting your information out there, you're denying that possibility from happening. So don't do that. Show up, be consistent, show that you care, engage, create that time in your calendar to do it. Again, I hope this was helpful. Have an amazing weekend. I will see you on Monday. For anybody that's watching this on the replay, make sure you get into those comments and let me know you're watching the replay and you enjoyed it. You have an issue with it. Tell me you hate me, whatever. Just engage. That way I know you care. Have an amazing day, everybody. Have an amazing weekend. This is BizDev Live. My name is Cameron Toth. It's always a pleasure. Take care.
BizDev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time, live. BizDev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Leadership and motivation, empathy and inspiration. BizDev Live, business development, not even selling it. BizD with C, brought to you by Cameron T. BizD with C, brought to you by Cameron T. This is business development, not even selling it. This is business development, not even selling it.